Hey, welcome back to Poor Pete. You won't believe what I found. So, while I was putting that chair kit together, in the midst of it, um, me and my wife were at an antique store, and my wife said, "Is that a Windsor chair?" And I looked over at this chair, and there's a stack of books and stuff on it, and it's about this high. And I looked at the back, and I said, "Man, that's an old chair." And I was like, the back headrest is a Windsor chair style. So then I took off the books and I looked at the seat, and I was like, oh my goodness, the legs go right through the top of the seat and they're wedge fit. They got a wedge going down in there. I was like, oh my goodness, this is a Windsor chair. So then I was like, well, how else was it made? So I took the chair and I flipped it upside down, and I could see that the bottom of this chair, you see those grooves in it? Those were made by a scrub plane, and you have some parts that weren't scrub planed, and it was made by split wood. And I was like, oh my goodness, this was made with hand tools. And then I started looking, and you can look like right here. Let's get a good image on that. See that tear out right there? If I flip this chair around this way, you can see that tear out. So they were using bits that were tearing out. See all that wood finish? See all that? Look at that. So anyways, see the back comb? Oh, here, look at the top. See the top right here? It has a wood dowel right here. So they would dowel this side. They would dowel the center. See that little dowel? And they would dowel this side right there. You see that little one right there? So cool. So I was like, my goodness, this is a Windsor chair. So I have never seen a Windsor chair that I could purchase, honestly. So I was really, my wife found it. I walked right past it, but my wife found it, and I had never seen a Windsor chair that I could purchase. I've seen, my mom has an old Windsor rocking chair that's been in the family. I can't even tell you how many original Windsor chairs I've seen. Not too many. So this one, I bought it for 80 bucks. I felt like that was a deal. And I don't know if you have, but have you ever been in a store where you find something that to you it's so valuable that you take it up to the front to have them hold it there, but you linger around and you're worried, you don't want it to get lost, or you don't want somebody else to see it and say, hey, what's up with that chair, and purchase it, you know what I mean, mistakenly. So you're really you're like that mother hen over to those little chicks, and you're like, I'm gonna keep an eye on that. So yeah, my whole rest of my shopping experience was just destroyed. There's nothing else that I could look at in that store and go, oh man, that's cool, or that's, yeah, it was over. So I just kind of waited for everybody to get done so I could get my chair. Hey, so when I get home, I start nerding out. I get a magnifying glass, I look at the wood, I look at the scratches, the tooling marks, I look at what type of wood I think that this was built out of. I start comparing different woods and different grain structures, and I just have fun like that. I'm not the only one. There is historical buildings that they've found that someone had a chip in their hewing axe or their broad axe back, hundreds of years ago. And, you can't grind down, that much of an axe. And all had to happen was that axe dropped, and there's probably a bunch of foul language and stuff like that being said, but you're not going to grind down that whole blade. So the gentleman kept on doing that. So they can actually look at some of these buildings, and if there's a chip in a hewing axe or a broad axe, they would be able to find all the different beams in that building that were done by him. And when you look at chairs, when you look at carvings, when you look at anything that's hand done, stuff like that is going to stand out. So I think there's something really special to be made with hand tools and done the old time way. This chair is absolutely not perfect. The seat's crooked. It has tear outs. It has major problems with the turnings. The turnings, a lot of times, that whole flat piece of that what would you call this? There's a word for it. That ring of that wood actually ripped completely off and is no longer there. So in studying about chairs, there's this book, American Windsor Chairs, and it's by Nancy Evans, and it just goes through all different types of chairs, chair makers, different time periods, right? So in looking for this chair, comb back, the square seat style, the way that the turnings were on the leg, all this, and looking at it, the earliest that this chair could have been made, 1790. The latest that this chair could have been made was 1830. Could it have been made after or before that? Absolutely. But most likely this chair is from 1790 to 1830. And now I get to be a good steward of it. So one of these days I'll be passing this on. Hey, if you like these videos, like and subscribe. If you have any questions at all, you have any comments, go ahead and throw a comment down there for me. And until next time, stay safe out there.